Well, there are no shops here. What were they shopping
trying
for?
to find the shop, you know.
Oh, but what does she want to buy? Maybe we have this here.
No, no, no.
No,
Just
you're pretty sure about that.
I don't want it to be like no gentleman like, but
Okay, nice to have you here. Thanks for coming.
thanks for the invitation.
So I think I'm gonna start with the question. What's your mama like?
My mom is like, she's the best person. You know, I was really lucky that I'm very thankful about the way how she grew me. And I grew up in a very cool house where there was a lot of laughter and a lot of joy. You know, she taught me a lot of discipline and taught me a lot of motivation. And she just always believed in me. You know, I think that's what really matters. If somebody believes in you and trying to find your potential, and then if you discover your potential, she really did trust me. You know, even though, of course, there was a time when she was scared. You know, when she thought like.
Oh, you see, so
Ladies,
I think we should.
you cannot. It's either you
I
come
think
in
we
or
should
out.
say what's happening. Oh, so there's the baby. Okay, come on in, come on in.
Come in. But we don't need. We can't have no noise and stuff. You know? Maybe you just go for a walk with her.
So we should say what's
Because I
happening.
told Trisha.
We should say what's happening. So the ladies first said they were coming, then they were not
Yeah.
coming, and finally they came.
Here is orange juice. Another tea.
We're not gonna stop that. Okay, so the ladies are out. Do you remember like the things your mama used to say to you when you were young, encouraging you to, search the world, to be open-minded? What are the things she actually told you?
Well, what she really put in my head was like, make sure you always be honest. Honesty was like in the priority list. It was like the number one thing. It was very important for her that her kids, her children are honest to ourselves, honest to other people. And even if it hurts sometimes, but the truth is the stuff what gives you longevity. Everything else just don't have a ground, you know. And that's what she taught us.
Is she was she like the person that encouraged you to go to Jamaica when you were a teenager?
No, it wasn't my mom. It wasn't like my mom said, go to Jamaica.
Well, she might be the one who said,
No,
"That's cool. If you want to go, just go and
she
do what you want to do."
I mean, I was 18, you know, and of course she was concerned, and but there was a deep belief somehow. There was a deep trust, you know. Of course, she wanted to know where I'm going to, and I said I got this family from a friend of mine. She wanted to know which friend it is, and so she made sure she had a background information. But it's a thin line sometimes for a parent too, because I got two kids too. My son is 15, my daughter is like almost 2 years, and I realize it's a thin line sometimes between letting go, you know, and also, you know, protection. It's very difficult, and it requires a lot of sense. And my mom had definitely a lot of sense. And I mean, I was lucky too, I can say that. But what she also taught me was the importance of the surrounding. You know, to have people who give you energy and not people who take energy from you, and people who really inspire you. And I think that the combination kind of did it.
There's a theory that men tend to, when they look for a partner in life, they tend to look for somebody who resembles their mother in some way.
I really like this interview, you know. It's it's like some deep shit, man. It's not like this common thing. So what is your record is about? When it's coming out? What is the last video?
We'll talk about that in a second.
I mean, I like deep stuff, you know. What was the question again?
There's a theory that men tend to, when they look for their partners in life, they tend to look for somebody who resembles their mother in some way. Is this the thing with Tarika?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking for my mother. You know, I think that's this Oedipus thing, this Freud
stuff.
thing. I'm not the big fan of Freud. I have our own theory. But I think what we definitely look in our partners and what we try to find is the trusted feeling that we know from our parents' house, maybe, you know. But if I look at my wife and I look at my mother, they completely different, you know. So me personally, I cannot. I mean, everybody's different, you know. But I don't really. I'm not a big Freud fan. I got to tell you this, you know.
We're talking about mothers, of course, because of the new single from the album you made together with
Oh, that's
Kimani
why.
Marley. See, nothing happens without a reason, and we gotta show this. The single is Mama. But if we're talking about Kimani Marley, I think I should ask about the story about you two meeting and doing an album together.
Yeah, I met Kimani. I don't know. I'm bad with years. I think it was like 2004 or five, something at a festival in France, and the promoter goes, "Hey, Kimani, want to meet you?" And I met him backstage, and we had a conversation. You know, like the album is called, and we just had a vibe right away. You know, we kind of had a deep conversation right away, and we shared similarities as far as our views are concerned. And I was always a big fan of his music, and he was a big fan of my music, and that was the first time we met. Then later on, I don't know when it was, he called me to do a song with him, and it took years, and then we did this song together with Matis Yao for his album Maestro.
Yeah.
The song is called We Are. And then after that, I had this MTV Unplugged project, and I asked him if he want to join me on it, and he came to Germany, and we did the recording in Cologne, and then we went on tour together, and that's how we really became friends on that tour. And then I don't know, I sent him a text message New Year, and I said, "Yo, Happy New Year, Kimani," and he wrote back and same to you. What do you think? Should do an album together, you know? And I said, yeah, I like that idea. And I went to Miami. We did some recordings in Miami. We did some recordings in Cologne. And it just turned out very natural and very effortless in a way of making music, because if you do a collabo album, the burden is on 4 shoulders and not on 2 shoulders. So you're more open for experimental stuff, you know.
So it wasn't like a clash of two people, but it was like a mixture. You complemented each other?
No. No, I don't really. I mean, there's a certain healthy competition in the music business, but only to a certain point. It's a unification. It's like 2 artists who really share a lot of similarities. They meet for a project, and the conversations are actually the whole red line throughout the whole album, you know, because every song is based on a conversation lyrically.
Yeah. So what are the conversations about?
I think it is very lyrical content is very vulnerable, and that's what I like about it so much. It's not we know it all and we have the wisdom and we have the solution. It's more like we scared, we weak, you know, but we strong too the moment we accept our weaknesses. And it's very honest, and there's conversations. I mean, you find these skips in between the songs. Like, for example, there's one skip where I'm just talking about that I watch news and I just feel depressed because I realize, you know, we just repeat our history over and over, and it seems like we don't learn from our mistakes. And he came with his point of view, you know, and then there's this other big issue that like 60 million people are on the move right now, and this hope what we used to have back in the days, one day this world will be a nice one, it's not happening. You know, but there's a balance in life. I don't think that there will be completely light one day, but I also don't, you know, I don't think that we will end up in darkness. So it is always the 2 sides of the coin, and that's actually the lyrical content. And being vulnerable, showing your weakness too, and it's about doubts too. Sometimes, you know, doubts is a very natural thing, but if the doubts get too intense, then it starts paralyze you, you know. But to a certain level, doubts can be really motivating, and it just felt very natural the way how we put this whole project together.
So what would you say is the thing you are actually scared of? Because you said that you talked about many things, and some of the things you were both scared of in the world.
I think the worst in the world is ignorance, you know, and because ignorance is the only thing what you cannot change, you know. I think for everything there is opportunity of changes, but ignorance is something what you cannot change, and that's actually what I'm personally scared of. I don't know if scared is the right word. It's more like the thing what concerns me and what makes me sad, and what makes me feel like, okay, we're just not learning from our mistakes. But music now is the wonderful tool to manifest that very thought and to manifest hope too. And without music, without the positivity, this world could not exist anymore, you know. So it's very necessary for the balance that we keep this alive. And I mean, you know, sometimes we need to have patience too, because the French Revolution, it took like 100 years too. And we make a step forward and then we make a step backwards, you know. But I think the hope should definitely die at last. And it's something where there's hope, there's life, you know. There's the lyrical content of the song too.
Strong words from a German.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the thing, you know, when you mention my heritage, you know, it's I'm really touring a lot, you know. So I'm listening to people, and that's one thing. Conversations also means like the art of listening, and I'm listening to people, and out of my experience, out of my traveling, I manifest it in my music. Yes, I'm a German, but I'm a world citizen, and so is Kimani too. And being in Poland now, it's something what I really appreciate as far as my German heritage is concerned, that people embrace my music so much. And it's not about the heritage. It's about what is in your heart and what you deliver. And it's been since years now that the people really embrace my music here, and I get so much love in Poland, and the more love I get, the more I can give back, you know.
Talking about you being German, the vast majority of interviews that I have seen are in English, and you speak this kind of Jamaican kind of English. And I was wondering what you would actually sound in German right now.
Also wenn ich auf Deutsch spreche, ich glaube, die Stimmlage ist dieselbe. So, ich mache natürlich auch viele Interviews auf Deutsch. Und mein größter Markt, der ist ja in Deutschland, so in Schweiz, Österreich. Verstehst du, was ich meine?
Ich verstehe ein bisschen, aber... Okay, so that was fun.
What about French now?
What about French?
Tu parles français aussi?
No.
Okay.
You got me there.
Maybe.
But do you... is this like... The English that you speak, is this what you actually
I don't know if I think I talk normal English, you know. Maybe I might have an accent, but it's not that I sit here with you and I'm talking patois, you know. When it comes to music, sometimes it just happens very natural. It's not even that I choose to speak a certain language. It's everything what I do is happening. It's not even as far as the music is concerned. I never had the plan to be a reggae singer, and I never was like, okay, I want to sing in Jamaican language. I just spent a lot of time in Jamaica, and it kind of happened. It's not even that I made a decision to do that, but I try to speak as proper English as possible because I want you to understand. If me talk Patois, I'm probably not understand nothing at all, you know what I say? So, yeah, and if I'm in Jamaica and do interviews in Jamaica, and the people who ask me the question, they talk Patois, then I probably speak a little more Patois. Maybe if I would talk to a guy who talk Italian, maybe my English would get a little Italian. I don't know. I just try to fit into my environment. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't judge it.
Okay, sticking for just one more moment to the German Polish thing. I know that you actually watched the match between Poland and Germany in Poland. That was in Poznań. What was that like?
It was beautiful. I mean, like, I really love football. I mean, I got to say this whole European Championship and the World Championship now, and what is happening with the human rights to build all the stadiums and stuff. There's a lot of negativity in football, but I love the game, you know, and I love the healthy competition. And we watched the game together with the Poznan boys, Choir and Jacek, and they all had their Polish flags and stuff, you know. But it was good. It was 0-0. Both teams are really strong, and I think Poland is. I mean, I'm a big fan of Lewandowski. You know, I think he's an incredible player, and I think Poland is definitely a favorite for the title.
So there was no awkward moment when you were cheering for Germany?
Of course there was, yeah, but in a good way, you know. Yeah.
How's your Polish? Because you've been in Poland many times. I stopped counting How's your Polish? If I ask you to say some of the names of the Polish players, like Błaszczykowski, will it be easy?
Yeah, Blaszczykowski, Lewandowski, you know.
Lewandowski is easy. Piszczek, say Piszczek.
Piszczek. But there was a guy playing in Cologne. What's his name again? He played he came like in the 70th minute. He played for Cologne. What's his name again?
This is awkward.
No, but
I should know that.
me too. It's just gone right now, you know. He really got some hardcore O legs. He got the biggest O legs like a football player could have, and he's a good player. Pesko? No. Pesko? No.
No. Okay. Let's stop this because
Yeah, let's stop the football conversation.
The comments under this video
They were
will
like,
be cruel.
Cut.
Cut that.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. I always wonder about people who who have the stage names. You know, like your gentleman. I know that Tillman is like kind of this stage man, because Tillman, gentleman. Maybe this is what it's started like. But I always wonder if this goes on for years. Do people actually still call you by your name, you know, or did they just acquire gentleman, and like when you're at home with Tarika, does she call you like Tillman, or does she say?
Yeah, she. I mean, I got a lot of names, and I won't tell you the names now. She called me, but of course, my environment, my family, and my friends, they call me Tillman and not gentleman. That would be stupid, you know, if my wife called me gentleman. No, it's my artist name, you know. And even though Tillman and gentleman is the same person, as far as I don't really play a role when I'm on stage and when I write songs, but the music is one very important part of my life. But of course, there's other parts in my life too, and it's the artist name, and Tillman is my real name.
You go together with Tarika on stage. She supports you as a singer. Is she like your first critic as far as music is?
Yeah, she's very critical, and she's very honest, and she really have a lot of sense for music. You know, she's very musically. She grew up in this gospel choir in America, in Virginia, and her whole family is so musically. Everybody can sing, and they all got a big range and a great knowledge about artists and stuff. So I learn a lot from her. And I really like her musical taste too, you know. If I do something and I'm not sure about it, and she say, you should go that way, then I feel it, you know. I feel it, and I'm like, she's really supportive.
Be honest. That's what
Yeah,
your mama said.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.